We're live.
There's 2 people waiting already.
Awesome.
Good evening, everyone. Happy Monday evening.
Good evening and hello.
We're Freedom Homestead. I'm Jack.
I'm Tangy and this is Ruger.
Yeah. Oh, I better mute that.
She's sleepy and she gets clingy when she's sleepy, and
Yeah.
her mama is getting ready for bed. So.
Yeah. So, how's everyone doing? Actually, we are a few minutes early.
Yes.
We usually wait till 8 o'clock Central Time here. So, we started, I don't know what time it is.
Well, we started like literally 2 minutes.
Okay, so we're 5 minutes early. It's
5 minutes
7:55 now. So,
hey Emily, how are you?
yeah, Ivy Acres,
Yeah.
and I haven't forgot about contacting you guys.
Hey Sarah.
We've just had a lot going on. We had revival this past week.
This past
Not
week,
this week.
which is why we didn't come on live last week. We forgot to put y'all on notice that we wouldn't be going live, and we didn't really think about it until after church was over,
Right.
which was at night.
Which I guess is a good thing, because we were focused on church and our services, and
Hey Octavia.
and that did take priority. And but yeah, so we missed last week's show, but we did have a good week of worship and fellowship, and if anything, it was just good for our church family to get together, because this summer we just a lot of things have been canceled, even a lot of our normal services and normal get-togethers.
Like I'm sure a lot of y'all have gone through.
We are a Baptist church in the South. We like to get together and eat and fellowship, and we just haven't done that either.
No, we haven't.
So it was good to just meet last week.
It was. She asked, was it wonderful? People got saved? I got saved in revival. Not that we know of, but we had a very good spirit, and we heard some excellent messages.
Very good messages,
Yeah.
and very good instructions. And I think there were a few people that were that needed to hear it, that maybe weren't as familiar with the gospel, and so they were asking questions which were really good. So hopefully they will start praying and get things worked out.
Yeah. But yeah, we're excited to be back with y'all tonight. He said, "What are we going to talk about?" I was like, "Well, I mean, we need to catch up because we weren't on here."
Yeah,
last
we missed 2 weeks, so it's been 2 weeks since we've been able to do anything. I do have something that I'll mention.
Okay.
Because we were able to post 2 or 3 videos
A few. Yeah.
last week.
Did you know I posted a video today?
No. No, I didn't know. I didn't know.
It was a.
I'm trying to see here.
I was gonna say a revival, but it wasn't. It was a grocery haul.
You went a grocery haul at the church.
No.
Let's see. Missed your live. We did not go live last week.
Hey, Mandy.
See.
And Jennifer. I saw Jennifer too.
What?
Jennifer, our mod.
Okay.
And friend. She's not just a mod. She's our friend.
Yeah, I'm sorry. I looked down to see how many people are with us.
Yeah.
And
then you get sidetracked.
And sometimes I miss comments or
Ooh,
questions.
I just remembered. I have a couple of show and tells.
Well, while you get that, I'll mention my thing.
Okay.
So yeah, we got about 40 people close to it, which kind of maybe it's a slow evening. I don't know why the lighting is so weird this evening. Seems like there's a glare. One of the videos that Tangy and I did was for a collaboration last week with Sutton's Days, because September is National Preparedness Month, so a lot of prepping videos, and we were able to be a part of that, which was awesome, very cool. And so we didn't really know what to do, and finally we decided, let's just do a video on items to kind of keep in your vehicles in case of an emergency. And of course, we kind of did a basic video on that. There's so much other things that we could have talked about. But one thing I had in my vehicle was what I call, or what we call around here in the South, we call them toboggans. They are the caps, the winter hats. Now, when I grew up, a toboggan was kind of the knitted hat with the little ball on top, and then if it didn't have the ball, it was just called a beanie. So a beanie or
Well,
toboggan.
I'll say I'm from Georgia, and we call them toboggans also.
Yeah, it's a southern thing. They're all known as toboggans down here. Of course, one of your friends down in Georgia, he always referred to them as sock caps. I was like, okay.
Well, he's wrong.
But yeah, and that was the first time I'd heard it called something else. But anyway, a lot of you started commenting that you had never heard those hats referred to as that name, and that was totally weird to me. And
It's
again,
fun to see what people, even
Yeah.
you know, in the United States of America, we call things differently, you know, by what region that we grow up in or what our parents grew up in.
yeah, over in England, biscuits or something else,
They're cookies.
cookies. But anyway, yeah.
Like fish and chips is fish and French fries.
Yeah, and so that's not chips to us.
No. And I love, I just started watching a new channel this week, and she is over in Australia.
Oh yeah, Mandy. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
That's okay. And I cannot remember exactly what the name of it is. I'll think of it later. But she calls her counter, it's not a countertop. It is a, oh shoot, it's something else. But I love just when she says it, it's adorable.
Yeah.
Anyway.
So Mandy lives in Canada,
Bench.
and they call them a toque or a toque, and that's something I've never heard of.
Yeah.
That's definitely something up there that they call them. I'm assuming. Yeah, I know a toboggan's a wooden sled. Yeah, we know that, but it's also a hat that you wear in the wintertime. And yeah, the toboggans around here traditionally are the ones that have the little balls on top.
Yeah. I don't know that I've ever remember growing up. I mean, maybe like when I read books like White Fang, if they call it a toboggan, but I always called them a sled. I never called them a toboggan. To me, a toboggan was a hat.
Yeah.
So anyway, that's just fun. I like
Yeah,
that.
and a sled was a sled, whether it was metal, wood, you know.
Yeah. If it skidded on the snow, it's a sled.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
And
fun.
yeah, I have heard people around here refer to them as beanies as well. But
okay.
I think that was, no one really started referring to them around here as beanies until I was grown up, until in my adult years.
Oh, wow. Okay, so Cliff says, Jump Off A says, I'm from New York and we call soda Coke. Others call it pop.
Yes.
Others still call it soda. Well, here in the South, it's Coke. Doesn't matter if you're drinking a Dr. Pepper or a Mountain Dew, it's Coke.
Everything's Coke around
Yeah.
here, and then they'll say, well, what kind of Coke do you want? And then
Yeah.
we'll say root beer,
Yeah.
Dr. Pepper,
So if you
Sprite.
got any Coke, sure. You want ski? You want diet?
Yeah.
What do you want?
Now, they are not going to know what you just
That's
said.
funny. What?
You just said ski.
I'm sure there's people on here that know what ski is.
Mandy's like, well, ski's something you do on the snow going down the mountain.
In Kentucky, it's a lemon lime.
It's a Coke. It's a Coke. Ski's a soft drink. And it's
funny.
awesome. And we've got friends that will come up
alright.
from Florida and visit. And
buy cases
before they
of
go
it
back to
before they
Florida,
go
they'll
home.
buy so many cases of it because they don't sell it down there either.
Yeah.
It's definitely a regional thing, kind of the Kentucky, Tennessee area.
Yeah.
I think we got friends in Missouri that will even stock up on the ski before they go home.
Ski is a Cincinnati thing, original. I thought that was a Kentucky thing. Ski. No, I'm thinking of L8. L8 is a Kentucky made.
L81
L8 one.
is, yeah, that's another one that was, it's more like a ginger ale type thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a Kentucky made one.
Route 66. Some people call it Route 66.
Is it like Sprite? Ski is kind of a cross between Sprite, Mellow Yellow.
But not
Um,
more Sprite than Mellow Yellow though, because I can't stand Mellow
yeah,
Yellow.
but I like ski a lot
Ski's
better.
okay.
I like ski a lot better than Sprite. Anyway,
Yeah, that's funny.
Sundrop. Yeah,
Sundrop,
Sundrop's
yeah.
another one that I like. Yeah.
Huh. That's cool. I love hearing how you guys
So
talk
anyway.
about stuff. Yeah.
Cheer wine. Yeah, and I'm not a big
Coco's.
fan of the cheer wine.
I don't know if I've ever had cheer.
Yeah, they have that around
Cheer
here.
wine.
Yeah, they have it in North Carolina, but they also have it here too. I've got some friends that drink it a lot.
Mellow Yellow sounds like toilet bowl. I agree.
Sounds like.
How about
Oh, the yelp.
RC is his favorite.
RC is
Are you talking about a
hands
Yoo-hoo?
down the best soft drink for me. For me.
No,
For me.
I'm a Coke girl
For
all
me.
the way.
But if also have another favorite, it's vanilla
Thank you,
Coke.
Tiffany.
Go to Sonic, get the vanilla Coke.
Don't forget Jot. I've never heard of that. Let's see. Sarah says we say you guys
Jot-
here in
That's a
California.
new one that I've never heard of here.
You guys probably say y'all. We do, but we also say I say you guys too.
You guys?
Yeah,
Nah, we say y'all.
we mostly say y'all, but
Yeah.
sometimes you guys just fits better. What are you guys doing? What are y'all doing?
It's so weird. I
It's
mean,
interchangeable.
it's understandably weird that different regions have different terminologies.
Uh-oh. Southern Blessed Homestead's here. They said RC and moon pie.
RC and moon pie. Yep. They know what's good.
What's better than Coke in your RC?
RC and moon pie is gonna be
What did I say? No, I
No.
meant peanuts in your Coke.
peanuts in your Coke.
Which
in,
is
in a
just
glass
wrong.
bottle of Coke. And I bet
Yes,
Mac knows
yeah.
exactly what I'm talking about.
Yeah, well, of course, my dad's family is from the North Carolina area, and they migrated down into Rabun County, Georgia.
Yeah.
But yeah, so they said, who was it that said? Yeah, Country Homestead Preacher said North Carolina. They say yuns. Yeah, and sometimes my family will say that too. What are yuns doing?
What are yins
Or
doing?
yins. Or
Yeah. Now, not only is it
youngins.
regional for the U.S., but then you take it worldwide, and I mean, some things are universal. Coca-Cola is universal. You know, Nike, stuff
Bye,
like that.
Sarah.
But just in general, what different
Yuns,
people call certain items of food,
Yeah.
or certain pieces of clothing, like
Youngins.
a toboggan.
Yep.
Yeah.
You
So,
youngins.
hey, I want you to do your show and tell. I'm gonna step outside and see what our dog is going crazy
Okay, sounds
about.
like he's
Yeah.
out front.
It may have been a buggy going by.
It may have been.
They hate the horses that go by.
All right, so today, well, first of all, Jack and I have been filming a day in the life. So I told him this morning, I was like, I think it'd be cool for you to film day in the life and me film the day in the life, and then we'll merge it. So we're gonna be doing that. And one of the things that I show is I am making something for the first time ever. I have always been meaning to make this, but the time always passes me by, and then the next thing I know, I find myself in the middle of cold and flu season and have not made fire cider. And my fire cider doesn't look as full as like I see some people's, but it's gonna work because I've got all the right things in there. So I'm excited. This is
Have you made this before?
no.
Okay, I didn't think you had.
So fire cider, for those of you that don't know, but I'm pretty sure all y'all do because a lot of y'all are a lot smarter than me. But it is basically a tonic that you make, and it's full of very, very good for you things that helps to prevent you from getting sick. And then if you do get sick, it helps you to get over it faster. So this is, I'm sure, going to be very potent stuff. It has onions, garlic, jalapenos, lemons, ginger,
My nose is opening up just her talking about this.
rosemary, thyme, lemon balm, and then you cover it all with raw apple cider vinegar.
Wow.
So this is actually going to sit for 4 weeks,
For a whole month.
and then I'm going to strain it out, And then we do put a little bit of raw honey in it to
Sweeten it up.
help it go down.
Help it go down, yeah.
And of course, you know, it's also good for you. It's antimicrobial,
Can we put some
antibacterial.
peanuts in there?
Heck no.
I want some peanuts in there too.
But anyway, so
little RC.
this is, hey, look what I did, and also a reminder that if you haven't started stewing yours, go ahead and get on
Yeah,
it, so
I
that
think-
way it'll be ready.
You probably
cold and flu season
didn't
gets
make
here.
enough. Because if we start getting the sniffles
Well,
and we start doing that, that's not going to last long.
as a preventative, you take like a tablespoon or 2 a day. But if you feel like you're coming down with something, then you take a few tablespoons a day.
Okay.
So, so there is that. Okay, so I wanted to show y'all
A
that.
wowzer, you won't stay sick with that. Yeah.
Also, Southern Blessed Homestead still here. We
Doc-
got some Happy
Oh,
Mail.
Somebody says we like Dr. Pepper here with lemon slice.
Huh. That's interesting.
I've never tried that, but interesting.
Yeah.
It sounds like something.
Okay.
Oh,
So Southern Blessed Homestead, and you guys know that they
I
were
hope you're
here.
still with us.
They were here a few weeks ago.
Yeah.
And then they sent us some Happy Mail. So we wanted to show y'all. We got these really cool
They
coasters.
sent us some Happy Meals.
I know. I'm kind of.
Ha-
No, Happy Mail.
Oh yeah,
not
these are
meals.
cool.
They're
These
so
are cool
cute.
little
These are like-
coasters they sent
They're
us.
coasters, and I'm afraid to use them because they're so cute. I don't want them to mess up. And we also got some stickers, Southern Blessed. And if you guys don't follow them, y'all got to check them out because they're awesome. They have a gorgeous garden. They've got
Yeah,
recipes
they're
over
here.
there.
They're still watching.
And then she also sent me some, us. They're really fine. But anyway, sent some seeds. We got some marigolds, some spun orange marigolds. And these are all from Baker Creek. I'm really excited about these German pink tomato seeds. Look at this, purple lady bok choy
Bok choy.
and a crane melon.
I'm interested in this.
Yes.
I'm wondering how that's going to turn out.
But you know, this is love right here.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
You give a man a tomato, you feed him for a day. You give him the seeds, you feed him for a lifetime.
For a summer.
Yeah. Also, I am really super excited. If you guys saw any of our gardening videos, y'all know the back row I have designated as our Three Sisters garden row. And I did half the row in pinto beans and half the row in purple whole peas. And of course, it's not enough to feed us for anything, but it is enough.
We did it as an experiment just to see if it would work
Right.
and how it would
'Cause I've
trail us
never-
up the old corn stalks.
I've
and
never
stuff like
grown soup beans before, or dry beans, but look at this. This is just from a few pods of purple whole peas. And I brought in another one today, but
that. Yeah, show them the pod.
yeah, this is the purple whole pea pod. And I mean, there's a bunch more out there, and I thought, well, if anything, this will just be enough for us to grow enough seeds that we can grow enough that we could actually eat. So really excited about that. And
More show and
here
tell.
is my favorite thing to show y'all. Part of it's still in the box, but I ordered a row cover.
Yes, Mandy, do a bison hunt video. I would
Ooh.
watch. What else you got?
So this is a row cover to turn a couple of our raised beds into low tunnels so we can grow some greens. And just
Like a mini greenhouse
like a
type
mini
thing?
greenhouse. I hope I got the right thing.
Well, it looks like it from the cover.
Yeah, frost protection. Anyway, we're gonna use some, we're gonna plant, I just hope I'm not too late. We're gonna plant some spinach and kale and lettuce in some of our raised beds. And then in this big old box over here, I don't know why I brought it, but it's the hoops that go.
There's a big box next door that
Yeah.
y'all can't see. It's got hoops in it.
Yeah.
We tried. Well, we've tried to do makeshift hoops with other things
hula
to
hoops.
cover up our cabbage with netting.
And that worked okay.
Yeah, it worked okay.
Yeah, but I don't know if I'm gonna be able to get another season out of it.
But this is going to be a little bit, I
This
think,
will last.
more stable. It will
Yes.
last longer. Yeah.
That's the hope anyway.
And
see.
it wasn't very expensive.
No.
It didn't cost much at all. If you went
This
and
row
tried,
cover I think was like $20, but it's enough for me to cover 2 raised beds. And then there's 6 hoops in there. I'm hoping I can do both raised beds. I'm not
we'll
sure.
We'll see.
But yeah, we'll see. So anyway, yeah, I'm excited. I just hope it works. It's a first time for us.
So
we'll
somebody's talking about our raised beds that they'll probably get colder than the actual ground, and maybe so, but also they are positioned facing the sun perfectly. So if we've got them covered and the sun's hitting it, it's going to, create that greenhouse underneath, and it's going to keep it warm.
Yeah.
And one thing we've learned is it does get really warm on that side of the property. So it's going to get a lot of sun, and
It would be cool
should
though.
work.
It would be
should
cool
work.
though if we could get enough straw bales, because we like to have straw bales over winter anyway, just to use them in the garden the next year. Maybe get enough to kind of
We
go around
had
the perimeter.
one of our raised beds. We planted garlic last year, and then
Which I have some coming.
we put a
from
bunch
my
of
garden.
straw over it in the winter, and didn't put anything else. And we did have a couple of snows. It didn't get very cold here. We didn't get a harsh winter last year, but the garlic wintered great in our raised beds. And then in the springtime, it really shot up, and we got a great garlic harvest.
We did, and I've got more garlic ordered from MI Gardener, so hopefully those will be coming in soon. Henry's Honey said just got theirs from MI Gardener today. Oh, and so did Rose's Liberty. Yay!
Yeah,
I'm so
garlic arrived
excited.
today.
Yeah, I have really enjoyed having garlic that I've grown, and I mean that's what's in my fire cider is homegrown garlic, and yeah, we've been using it a lot. Yeah. And I ordered four different orders of garlic because I thought one per family member, that'd be perfect. Let's see.
Oh, who we got? Howdy, Jack and Tangy, and all from Deb in North Central Washington and Rich Refuge. Yeah.
Well, glad you're here.
I know we've missed saying hello to everybody that's joined us. So many people are saying hi. We get to talking and we forget to look down and check out all the
Hey, Cast
comments.
Iron Mama.
Sorry, but hello everyone. Yeah, a lot of people are saying hi.
Rebecca, let me tell y'all, that is probably the most excited find I have gotten from Aldi for a very long time.
What? What are you talking
The
about?
sourdough bread that I bought that we've been having our sandwiches with.
You got that at Aldi?
Well, no. Okay. We went
get
to
that at Aldi. You
yeah. No, not the one you're thinking of. Okay, so we went to there's a little Amish store about 35 minutes from here, and they have like it's an Amish store. They sell Amish goods, but it's not owned by Amish people. And it also has like a park, and then they sell like deli sandwiches. So while I was there, I got some Amish bread, 2 different loaves, but that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the sourdough that I got from Aldi. It's 3 ingredients. 3 ingredients, and I am so pumped. Okay, so speaking of
I haven't seen that bread yet.
yeah, you have.
We've been eating the Amish bread
Just since
the last couple days.
last couple of days, yeah. That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
You
That's
remember-
what I thought you were talking about, because that's the only bread I saw you buy.
No, you remember
Yeah.
that sandwich that I made for you when that day that we had friends come into the
Yes.
kitchen? Okay, that was the bread.
Okay.
Yeah, it was
Okay.
so good. So anyway, I'm gonna say something about my grocery hauls. A couple of folks have noticed that what I'm buying is different than what I've bought in the past. In fact, I thought it was kind of funny because a few grocery hauls ago,
I know where this is going.
I went to both Amish salvage stores, and I found tons of great organic products at really good prices, and so I stocked up. And a few people were like, "What's with all the organic stuff?"
Which is weird. They were questioning, why are you buying the healthier stuff?
Yeah,
Or the
yeah. But okay, so here's the thing. Y'all-
But I guess if they watch you, they did know it was different.
Well, and here's why, okay? And since y'all are our live folks, like, I feel like we're like all family, we're all friends, we're all hanging out.
Yeah.
So
Keep
since,
talking. I'll be right back.
okay, y'all know that I work full time, and now I work full time now. I hadn't been, but now I have, which means my income has increased, and my goal has always been, it has always been that when I can increase my grocery budget, I will also increase the quality of the food that I buy for my family. Okay, so and it's just funny how, you know, some people are like, you buy too much junk. Well, that's because at that time that's what we could afford. And sometimes you have to feed a belly. You know, you've got to fill a belly, and you know, but that was. One of the things that I kept telling myself is this is just a season of life. This is just a season of life. Like right now, you know, stay-at-home mom, homeschool mom, we got to pay bills. And so we're going to buy what we can afford. And so now that our income has increased, I want to improve the quality of the food that we're buying. So hopefully you're going to be seeing less of the junk and more healthy things in the upcoming grocery hauls. So if you're wondering, like,
But not that we still don't want to raise as much as possible and make our own homemade stuff.
oh yeah, I mean, and that's why we garden and started homesteading to begin with, was so that way we could feed our family the best and not have to spend a fortune.
And we're still going to do that.
Yeah, we're still gonna do that, but you know, but we can't grow everything, and we're not growing enough to sustain ourselves for a year, so we still go to the store. And anyway, yeah, so that's what I'm saying. It's just, and it doesn't bother me that people ask those questions. It's just, I don't know, sometimes they're shocked, like, you know, why are you buying organic food? Well, why wouldn't I? Especially if I'm getting organic rice, which rice is, I think, part of the dirty dozen, right? And if I'm getting it for 49 cents a pouch, and I don't have to cook it as long, and it's a super quick, convenient food, but it's also organic, like, why wouldn't I buy it? Anyway, let's see. Gonna be late for your own funeral? Well, that's okay. We're just glad you're here. Let's see. It's so hard to buy healthy, affordable food. It is. I mean, it is. And you know, like I said, that was always the goal, was to, you know, hopefully one of these days we won't have to eat all the cheap processed stuff, that we can afford cleaner, more whole ingredients, you know, at least what we can't grow ourselves.
Well, I'll add, you know, that since we moved here and set up our garden and we've been growing as much as possible, we have been eating a whole lot better, just the fact that we've been growing so much of our own food. So I'm getting more and more used to that and craving less processed. Definitely, I don't like going through a drive-through anymore and just grabbing a burger at a fast food chain. I get to where if I do that much, yeah, I feel terrible.
Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah. The body doesn't recognize cheap food. It takes more to feed the body. Yeah, and that's true. And so, but we all do the best we can as well.
Right. I mean,
And sometimes it's more about survival. And yes, you need to have, you know, nutrient-dense foods and things like that. But sometimes, if all you can get is just the calories, then you take the calories.
and there's days when people, I mean, sometimes you just crave something that you know is not really great for you, but you still crave it. So you just go kind of, I guess if you're on a diet, you'd call it a cheat day, or, you know, just a craving.
Right. Well, and I think a lot of it is right. Okay, so Heather said, I'm still learning. Yes. I mean, and that's the thing, is you take what you learn and you do the best you can with what you have.
Yes.
Especially being on YouTube and putting our grocery hauls out there. I've heard all the snarky comments, and it has made me less judgmental about what people buy. I mean, yes, we know processed
Yeah.
foods are bad. If there are things on the package that you can't find in your kitchen as a one ingredient food, then there's a good chance that's not good for you. But we also know that people are just trying to survive. They're doing the best they can. They got to buy their prescriptions, or they got to keep their lights on, and no one should be made to feel bad about that. If all you can afford is to give your kids hot dogs and a banana for dinner, then go you. At least your kids have something to eat, because there's a lot of kids that go to bed hungry.
I mentioned foods that people crave. Yeah, there they are. They're going with the ice cream and the cookies. You know, sometimes it's not ice cream and cookies for me. I don't know why, but I resort back to my college days, and I'm like, I need a chuck wagon meat patty.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I'm sure people are like, what is he talking about? But look it up. I don't
Yeah.
want to explain it tonight. But yeah.
And I will say this too, people that are really in a pinch, a lot of food pantries do carry fruits and vegetables, which is wonderful. Actually, the farmers market in the town that we live next to, they actually have a program where people that are, on food assistance or whatever can come in and get some stuff with their money. And it's a really excellent program, because now these people also have access to local, healthy, locally grown food.
Wow.
So
Enriched
really great.
Refuge, I got the meat sales on the day it was half price for natural fed beef, chicken, and
nice.
lamb. I hit the jackpot last week, and that's
Yeah.
great. That is awesome.
Yep, Jennifer said, and some churches have community gardens. I think, are you still overseeing yours? Because I know for a little while you were doing that. I thought that was awesome.
They're still going with their comfort food or their cheap foods or their favorite snacks.
Yeah.
Oreos with milk. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, and that was another thing too. Somebody else commented
Charles likes my shirt.
on my grocery haul today that it didn't seem like I was as frugal as I used to be. And frugality, this is something that Amanda and I have said since we've done Frugal Family Food, is frugality is objective. It depends on your income, your budget, and your resources, how much food is in your area. So I know families with less people in their family that still spend more on groceries than we do.
Yeah.
And so,
Even though you're working and we've gotten a little bit better with the income that's coming in, just so we know the monthly bills are going to be covered. And before that, we were like, we hope the monthly bills are covered.
Mm-hmm.
Now we know the monthly bills are covered, but as far as grocery, I think we still are frugal.
oh yeah,
We're still saving money. We still cut corners.
yeah.
Um,
So, for example, my hope was that when I went to Aldi this past week, I really had it in my heart to buy grass-fed beef. But when I got there and I saw the price tag, I couldn't do it. I was like, if I bought this ground beef, that means I'm going to have to give up something else. And at this time, I can't do that yet. So I think for me, being frugal is being mindful of how much money you can spend on groceries.
Right.
And so I went with the cheap stuff. I got the stuff that was $1.99 a pound. And but to balance that out, I was also able to get other things that were better quality than what we had bought before.
Said what was he talking about? The garden, their church garden was shut down.
Oh,
Not enough
no.
volunteers to keep it going.
Oh, that's sad.
I think Mandy just said what you just said. Everyone's interpretation of frugal is different. What my empty freezer looks like may be entirely different to another person. I can tell you, when I say the freezer's empty, it's empty.
And it ain't been empty in a long time.
Ours
I need to go
has
through it
been low,
again.
but what do you mean it hadn't been empty in a long time?
Our freezer?
It was, well, not lately.
No, it's
It's-
like
we've-
I can't fit anything else in
This
them right now.
summer we've been blessed. I'll
We
just
have,
put it
yeah,
as the
yeah.
only way to say it. We've
Before
been
the
blessed.
before the squash started coming in, it it was low, very, very low.
Yeah, last winter, this spring, it was empty.
But now it's full of
now-
squash and peppers and
Yeah.
onions and chicken.
And I finally got to meet and talk with the gentleman that lives right down the road from us, basically right next door to us, that owns the huge lamb and goat farm. And they have just built their own processing building over there. So now when people come and buy products from them, they can actually process it for them. And so I was asking, so if we want one, we can come over, and they said, yeah, anytime you want to try that out. So there may be a day where we just break down and say, you know what, we're gonna try lamb, or we're gonna try goat, or
Yeah.
something like that.
And I would
we
really-
haven't done it yet, but
No, and I hope
that day will come.
I hope we can also buy like a half a cow too at some point.
I don't know if they do the cows.
Well,
I
they
can
don't,
talk to them.
but I actually have a resource for that, and I've been meaning to tell you about it. I'll tell you later. Just don't let me forget.
Sounds good. I won't let you forget about beef. Yeah.
But yeah, so there's a lot of ways that people who can't afford healthy foods can get healthy foods that won't cost them anything except time. One of those things is foraging.
Well,
Yes. Depending on where you live.
depending on who you are, you might starve if you have to forage.
Well, it depends. I'm just saying that's an option for some folks. There's a lot you can do. A lot of good nutrition out there. Like you can get lots of vitamin C by making some pine tea.
I would
pine
end
needle
up.
tea.
I'll be honest with you. I work in a national park and I work in the forest. I'd probably end up eating the wrong food and making myself nearly go to the emergency room.
That's why you have to educate yourself.
It's all about
Because
education.
where you
You
work,
get hungry, you
that
start tasting stuff.
forest is full. It is full of medicine and
Oh
food.
yeah, I know.
Full of it.
We went on many
Persimmons,
hikes through there.
blackberries, wild ginger, wild mustard,
There's prickly pear cactus.
Yeah.
And you can make jelly out of that.
crickets, grasshoppers, grubs.
Come on now.
I'm just saying.
Come on. We went from Oreos and milk to grubs. You see
Ooh,
where this
tiny little
video is
cookies.
taking us to.
Oh, and that reminds me.
Let's get back to goat. Somebody said goat's delicious.
And of course, let us not forget the ever
that a joke?
amazing dandelion. You can eat pretty much the whole dandelion plant, including the roots. You can make tea, candy,
no,
medicine.
Tangy. For a person who doesn't like praying mantis in her garden.
I didn't say
That's
I was
funny.
gonna eat them or touch them. I'm just saying it's an option for some people.
What is that?
Purslane browns all over, and it's the highest, most nutritious greens you can eat.
I don't know what purslane.
That's why you have to educate yourself.
I don't know what that is.
Oh, Pathways Homestead said pawpaws, oyster mushrooms, and nuts. We have morel mushrooms that grow wild here. But
And I have just discovered where a bunch of pawpaw trees are in.
That's some other seeds I could have shown.
Oh
them.
yeah, I did bring home some pawpaw
Yes,
seeds.
I have some
The
pawpaw
pawpaws are not ripe yet here, but they probably
Good
will
night,
be soon.
Rebecca.
And here's something else. The weather is amazing right now. If you hate sunshine, the weather's amazing right now in Kentucky. It is cooling off. We're having a nice fall. The high tomorrow is supposed to be 66 degrees.
so
the high
excited.
tomorrow, 66.
Yes.
I think it got up to about 70 today, but then it rained and it's dropping fast.
Yeah.
So we're gonna have some nice. This whole week is supposed to be
Caver.
great. Oh yeah, I love it. 65 to 70 degrees. That is perfect for me. I mean, that's when I want to go out, work outside. You don't get too hot working. If it's 70 degrees, 60 degrees, you don't get too hot working. And then if you do, you can use the fire ring, build a little fire, cook some food over it. That's just perfect. And then at night, when it cools down to about 40, 50 degrees, that's camping weather.
Yeah. Okay, I was gonna ask Emily at Ivy Acres, is there something else y'all call morels? Because I wonder how regional that is.
And I really didn't know it was called morels until I got older. I grew up
Calling
calling
it
it what
something
my
else.
grandparents and parents and all my family used to call it.
Yeah, so I'm just wondering if Emily's family calls it the same thing. And she's probably going, I don't know what you're talking about.
Hawkins Hills, yes, I hate the sunshine.
Oh,
They're
well,
laughing at me maybe because I hate the sunshine. Yeah,
Yes, they are.
I'm a caveman. I don't like the sun.
Yeah, and you have very sensitive eyes too. And I don't know if that's
Morels.
because you're in the dark a lot
You know,
or
our
if they've
dog,
always been that way.
here's something my daughter told me. She said she heard that,
Here they call them dryland fish.
yeah, we call her morels. I grew up knowing them as dryland fish. The first time I heard somebody say those are morels, I was like, no, they're dryland fish.
And do you
but
know how much people pay for morels? I saw them one time
It's a
at
delicacy,
at a farmer's
mushroom.
market, and I was like,
People will drive down from Michigan down here during the season to pick them and then go back up there because the season hits here a month or two before it hits there. But I also heard that the darker your eyes are, the better they can handle the sun. That if you have green eyes or blue eyes, that you're more sensitive to the sun. That's what they were told and related it to me. And I don't know if that's true or not.
Seems like it
maybe,
would be, I don't
maybe
know.
something to that.
yeah. Well, I have brown eyes, and when I was a kid, I used to think I was allergic to the sun because every time I'd go outside, I'd sneeze.
Because I have green eyes.
But I think,
Oh, I do that too.
yeah, everybody does that.
Yeah.
But I was convinced
It's
I was
another
allergic
reason
to
not
the
to
sun.
like the sun. Light eyes are more sensitive to sunshine.
Yeah, let's see. They are popular in Michigan. You just said something about that. Yeah.
Yeah, my dad does also.
Same
Yeah,
thing.
blue eyes. So maybe, yeah. So what she heard hopefully was correct information.
Well, that seems to be the consensus. Let's see. The eye doctor told my son, who has blue eyes, that too. He constantly has to wear sunglasses outside because the sun hurts his eyes. Yeah, that doesn't. I mean, yeah, it can if it's really, really bright outside, but
There's people that I work with
yeah.
that different people have grown up calling morel mushrooms different things. Dryland fish. And the reason we call them that is because you can fry them up just like having a fish fry. And I've heard of, I can't remember the other names that I've heard, like turkey something, turkey brains or something like that, because they kind of look like a
That
brain.
doesn't sound very good.
Yeah. But they are so good. What?
Bub. Mom always told me that brown-eyed people are full of crap, and that's why we got brown eyes.
Oh,
Oh, that's funny.
that's funny.
Haystack mushrooms?
I've never heard of that. That's a new one. Yeah.
Neat. Ooh, I bet thyme and morels are good together. Never had them that way because every time we get a hold of them, we fry them like
Looking
fish.
these mushrooms up. So maybe the people may have never heard of morels. Morels are they're the bomb. They're so good. And what's the big, huge, the portobellas?
Yes.
I love a nice portobello grilled and like put on a hamburger or something like that.
Some people eat them as the hamburger.
Yeah,
But we
portobello
don't do
burger. No, we put them on the
We
hamburger.
put them on the hamburger.
And that way you can have like a double cheeseburger, but one of the doubles is the portobello.
Love it. I love it.
Portobello
burgers.
Yeah.
Well, you know what? I would eat a portobello burger. Sure. I like burgers. Maybe not like a fake meat one, because that would be gross. But
Yeah, there is a false morel mushroom, and for people that aren't familiar with morels, I guess they could get them confused. I've grown up harvesting morels my
Molly
whole
Moose.
life, and the false morels are poisonous. But to me, they look totally different. I guess if you're not keen on which is which, you could get them confused. But I mean, to me, it's obvious that's not a morel. And one thing is, if you cut a morel open, morels are hollow inside. The poisonous mushrooms are solid inside. So yeah, the false morels are not hollow like the real morels.
Hey, Dixie,
So
you live
that's
in
a telltale
Homestead.
sign. If you cut it open and it's solid, don't eat it. Well, unless it's a portobello.
Yeah. Speaking of which, who was it? Oh, Sue downtown says use the portobellos as the bun.
Yeah.
That would be good.
Oh yeah. And then are they called chanterelles?
That's what somebody else just talked about.
Yeah.
Our chanterelles were awesome.
Those are those the same things that I've heard people say chicken of the woods? Because I have a lot of people that hunt or harvest them, but I think I've heard them referred to as chicken of the woods, and that I'm not as familiar with. It's kind of like a shelf mushroom that grows, you know, on dead wood and tree stumps and stuff like that. I don't know how we got to talking about this.
I don't know. And Rich Refuge said, I wear the yellow driving glasses now at night to take care of the glare, especially these horrible, dangerous LED headlights now. I'm going to have to check those out. I have astigmatism in my left eye, and my glasses are supposed to help with that, but the glares are still pretty rough. I have noticed an improvement, but I should probably check those out. Because it really gets like bad enough that I just don't want to drive at night anymore.
Yeah, and I have very sensitive eyes too, and people always said, oh, it's well because you work in a cave and you spend so much time in the dark. I had sensitive eyes as a kid. Before I even got into my college years and started caving, I had sensitive eyes. I did not like going to the beach, bright sunshine, especially glaring off the water.
See, to me, that is just like the best. It's like heaven is smiling down
I want to
on
be
me right
in
now.
a forest,
And it's beautiful.
under the canopy,
And the sun is so bright.
cool and shady,
Nice and warm.
laying in a hammock,
So warm. and
next to a
cozy.
campfire.
I could almost sleep in the sun.
You know, opposites do attract.
Yes, they do. He likes to be under the ground while I like to be above it working it.
Yeah, and I like it nice and cool, and she likes. Well, no, you like it nice and cool, but
Oh, I'll do. I like it. Cool.
but yeah, you like
Well,
the sunny days,
me
and
and
I like the
Parker-
cloudy days.
Me and Parker were actually talking about this not long ago. It's like the older I get,
Sounded like a country duet.
the older I get, the more I appreciate each season. And where fall is my favorite, I also look forward to winter. I also look forward to spring, and I also look forward to summer. Like, I appreciate the things about each season. The winter time is a time of rest, and we take care of a lot of things in the house and read lots of books and do a lot of baking, getting to spend a lot of time with the family because they can't leave. No, I'm kidding. Sort of. Anyway, and then like spring, things are starting to wake up and come to life, and all the flowers are blooming, and then you get to plant. And then, of course, summer is harvest season. And then when you're tired of working so hard during the summer and then the harvest, then it's fall and things start to slow down.
I think that's one reason we love where we live at right now is because we have a really great variety of the seasons.
Patty, you are on.
We definitely get the full brunt of all 4 seasons here
Hey,
in
Minute Man.
Kentucky.
Yeah, just at weird times.
Yeah. A couple of them were saying that they don't drive at night, or they don't like driving at night because they have like stigmatisms and stuff. And I will say this: these newer vehicles now, and the newer headlights, they're a lot brighter than what they were 10 years ago.
Yeah.
The xenon bulbs, these bright LED bulbs, they will blind you. And to combat that, I don't get the yellow sunglasses. I put the bright xenon headlights in my truck. So I'm just like, okay, you're going to shine your lights at me. I'm going to shine them back. Take
Hey,
this.
1870s Homestead. Let's see. Mandy said wintertime is for canning things from the freezer, working on projects like gloves and blankets, plant the garden, then spring starts and everything moves outdoors.
Yeah.
But the cool thing is, at least the way it is for me, is that you're not as rushed to get everything harvested and, or not harvested, but preserved like you are
I saw,
in the spring, or at least that's.
so 1870s is with us now.
Yes.
And you said hi to her already, or
I
hi to
did.
them, Todd
Them.
and Rachel.
Could be, yeah.
I watched video where Todd's kind of working on the old chicken house. And, yeah, I hope that goes well. I hope he doesn't have anything, that archway. I hope it repairs and sets up good, because, boy, that probably would not turn out well if I tried it.
Yeah, we're speaking of chickens, we are on egg watch.
Should be soon.
It should be soon.
We hope.
It's like waiting for a baby to be born, but it's a baby that we can eat. That's so weird that I said that out loud just now, but it's true. Like, I go out and I check every morning.
That's not good.
I know. That's kind of weird. But it's true, though. I mean, it is a baby we can eat.
Quit saying that. Please.
Well, actually, it's not, because there's no rooster.
True. It's a chicken egg. It's our breakfast.
But
Oh
I'm
my
excited,
gosh.
though. I'm so excited. Listen, here's
my
what's going to happen.
gosh.
I'm going to find an egg, and all of y'all, no matter where you are, will know it, because
Here's the thing. Should
I
we
will be so happy. I'll be, woohoo! And you will
When-
hear it in Canada. You will hear it in Texas. You'll hear it in Washington.
When young chickens, when they first lay their eggs, is the first one's gonna be good? Does it matter?
Most likely, they may be small. They may be misshapen. Sometimes there's like just white and no yellow.
Yeah, so I was just wondering, should we even eat the first egg
Well,
the first time we
yes.
get
Well,
one?
depending. I mean, I'm not going to eat it if it's just a white, because ew. But yeah, as long as it's not broken.
Yeah, we may wait till they get used to producing them.
No, listen. When I was growing up, my grandparents owned layer houses, chicken houses, whatever you want to call them. And they produced eggs. It was an egg production. And I mean, you saw all kinds of stuff coming out there on the belt. And you know what? The ones that weren't broken, either they went to be incubated and hatched,
Yeah.
or they were sent to Betty Crocker for cake mixes.
Man, there's a whole ton of comments rolling through
The
here.
double yolks, or the eggs that were like kind of like where the
The
shell
pullet eggs are just fine to eat. They're just small.
where the shell is so thin you can see through it. Those, and then sometimes the eggs came out flat on one side and almost looked like had like a sun kind of imprinted on the side of the shell.
Dixie Living
All of those with the
Homestead,
Betty Crocker cake
they
mixes.
hard boiled their first egg 6 years ago, and they split it among all 8 of them. They never looked back.
Yeah, that sounds like something we would do. Definitely.
Cool
Let's
deal.
see.
Cool beans, as we say around here.
That's what you say. I'm on egg watch with my quail right now.
People
None
say
so
around
far.
here.
Oh my goodness, that's so exciting. We got our chickens around the same time. Mine started laying last week. Any minute. I am so excited. I'm so excited.
Yeah, so, I mean,
They may molt before it gets cold, before they lay their first egg. That happened to us. Yeah, if that happens, I'll be sad, but it'll just make, when they do start laying, even better.
if they molt, will they not lay?
No, if they're molting, no.
Molting is just what, losing their feathers?
Their feathers. It's like a whole, I guess it's a whole, like a hormonal process, right?
Okay. But once they get done with that, they'll
Hey,
start laying,
Kathy.
won't
Yeah.
they? Yeah.
Hey,
noticed there's-
Shauna.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're learning, but I'm excited. The girls were they acted really weird when I went out there this morning. They were like right on my heels, like
No,
the whole time.
they all came up to me and, well, I grabbed a handful of fresh grass
Mm-hmm.
and they were trying to really grab it out of my hand. And I think it's really time to start moving the
To
coop or
fresh
the
paddock.
fence and get them, some fresh grass.
Mm.
Because I think we've had them there several weeks now, and they're wearing down all the fresh, good greens to eat.
Yeah. Oh, Kathy, I'm so sorry. We're glad you're here. Hopefully we can make you smile today.
Yeah, well, sorry to hear about that. And
When you go to pet them and they squat, it's time. What if you go to pet them and they try to peck you? Is it time? Because that's what they were doing. They were being so weird. They were all like, they were right on me. And they never do that. I mean, usually I'll go in there and there might be a couple that'll come around, but usually they just do their thing. But I mean, all of them were.
We've
like,
got the one chicken that always comes to us. And that one seems to be the ones the others kind of follow.
I guess. But then they were like, I was trying to put fresh water in their waterer, and they were like trying to peck my hand. I'm like, what are you doing? So I don't know.
Kathy, you got a lot of people here that love you and that are, sending their condolences, and I'm sure their prayers. And so, yeah, it's good to know when you've got other people thinking about you,
Yeah.
praying for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mine peck my wedding ring. I wonder if that's what they were trying to do. I don't know. They were just being different.
Well, if I stick my finger in the fence,
Attention.
they're gonna all start pecking at my finger. They were really going after, so that's why I started grabbing grass and sticking it in there, and they were just going after it.
That's strange. Oh, me.
Absolutely, I've been well loved
In this community.
in this community.
Well loved on.
Well
Yeah.
loved on
Yeah.
in this community.
I'm
Absolutely.
convinced that this is the best community on YouTube. Absolutely convinced.
I think so. I would have to agree. Yeah.
Yeah.
And we don't think we have a rooster. We think they're all hens. We think.
They're
pretty
saying
sure.
that they think I'm the rooster. That's why they were following
Oh,
me.
okay. You are the rooster.
I think they here. Okay.
Well,
Jack is the animal whisperer. All animals seem to know that Jack is alpha male. Our dogs,
well,
the chickens, like he can command pretty much any animal that I've ever seen. And I'm like,
I probably did miss my calling as a
farmer.
farmer.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I do love being around animals, and I have a natural instinct
Yes.
with them.
Well, y'all seen
But-
the video where he could,
but
they
also-
calm down, and he can like.
But also,
Do whatever he
you're the
wants to
one
with
that's been
them.
going out every single day now in the morning and checking on, see if there's an egg and giving them their feed and stuff like that. And I've only been out there sporadically. So I think they're probably getting more used to seeing you on a daily basis now.
I don't know. It was just weird because I mean I've been going out there for months and they just acted really different this morning. It was just
Maybe
strange.
so.
But yeah, and I've also noticed like when I'm pulling the mesh over to the hooks to close up the thing, they'll all come over and they try to peck me through
They know.
the holes. And I'm like, no. I'm like a mom fussing at her toddler. Let's see, they all look like hens to me from what I saw at this age. Go by their tail feathers. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're all
I think so.
hens.
Yeah.
Tangy means food to them.
Yeah, they
That's
associate
what I
you with
think.
food.
That's what it is. They're like, oh, what did you bring? Give it to me now. My husband and 7-year-old son, to our rooster, does not mess with them, but will chase me around the yard. What is up with that?
Oh, Wilderness Survival says mine are eating the fodder.
Wait a minute.
What?
Wilderness survive the fodder?
Yeah.
Is that Mike? Mike, is that you?
No.
Are you sure?
Yeah. Simplify.
Mine are eating the fodder. Well, the way he said it, it was like, or she. Your pastor. I knew it. I told
Oh, it
you.
is.
I told you.
Well, when they said fodder, I was like,
The fodder. I was like, he said that like we should know what he's talking about.
so
That's what he's talking about.
I know we've only got a few minutes left. We don't want to go much over our hour, but we got to say, we have plans for Wilderness Survival Simplified, aka our pastor, and he's actually planning on coming out soon. Probably within the next week, and he is an amazing teacher on bushcrafting skills and prepping, preparedness, and I mean he's been teaching this stuff to
And Bible.
well, he's a great pastor too, but But yeah, beyond the spiritual lessons and the Bible teachings, he's just really great at the bushcrafting and outdoor stuff. So yeah,
And he's a
we're-
good friend too.
We're getting him up here soon, and we've already been talking. We talked this morning about cooking outside
Yes.
and water filtration systems
That will survive.
and fire starters. I mean, we talked about a lot of stuff, so I'm going to get him up here, and heck, by the time we do several videos with him, he may be ready to start his own channel.
Well, yeah. Without saying too much.
If I can teach him how to use his phone.
Yeah.
I'm messing with you.
He also,
Oh, shucks.
well, Mike, I actually prepared for you coming today. Of course, Jack didn't tell me that y'all were planning on doing that today.
North Star Prep.
And I was like, I
Dinner.
have to work. But anyway, I went ahead and cooked extra beans and cornbread just in case you came anyway.
So Kathy at North Star says Bible survival.
I know, I like that. That's fun. Bible in one hand, survival knife in the other. Ooh, there's your motto right there. That should be on a t-shirt.
That should be your t-shirt.
Yeah,
and,
there's your t-shirt.
And by the way, he also makes knives, homemade knives.
Yes, he does. And really good ones,
He's
too.
very skilled at that.
Yep. Croctober. Yes,
Croctober.
I'm excited about Croctober too. So if y'all don't know what that is, my friend Amanda at the Beals, that is so hard to change from saying the fundamental home to the Beals.
They've changed it?
Yeah, like a few months, several months ago.
I'm sorry, but
Which that was the plan, was to eventually evolve it
go to the Bills.
to the Beals. So
Yeah.
anyway, but Amanda from the Beals, she has done a collaboration for Croctober, which is October, and it's just a month full of crockpot meals. Who doesn't love a good crockpot meal, including desserts? Anyway, I'm in the lineup.
And that, I think that also includes a few meals, not just the traditional crock pots, but probably some Instapot
I think
stuff,
some
too.
Instapots are in the lineup.
I think there might be a few of those thrown in there too.
But it's slow cookers, and so I asked her, I was like, well, what? She's like, well, I need to know what you're going to do. And I was like, well, I don't know what to do. And she said, well, a lot of people are saying not soups. Because, like, everybody's got soups. They wanted more, like,
Yeah.
solid meal type things. So I'm going to be making Tuscan chicken. So that will be, I can't remember what day I'm on, but be watching for that. But yeah, there's like big channels. I know Jay Morrell is going to be doing it. Linda from Linda's Pantry is going to be in it. I'm trying to think. I know there's more, but my mind's gone blank. But lots of big channels, like over 100,000 sub kind of
Okay.
channels.
I got one for our pastor Mike. Wilderness Survival. I'm going to call you Wilderness Survival for the sake of the show here. So there's a comment to you, something to think about. Maybe you'll want to address this. It says, I wish he would talk about why the church in general shies away from preparedness. We literally have been told that we need to do nothing but trust God.
I have heard that too, many, many times. And my answer is the Lord gave us common sense.
Yeah.
Common sense.
Yeah.
But, yeah, that would be a good discussion.
Isn't it when they were rebuilding the wall around the city that they had their trowel, their tool in one hand and their sword in the other? They were working, but they were ready and watching and ready to. I mean,
Right.
I don't know. But that's
Yeah,
not
well,
for me. That's not a question for me.
But he answered it. He said, Dixie, they believe that God did not teach us to provide for ourselves. He gave us common sense.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. Good answer.
Yeah.
I'll agree with that.
Yeah.
Totally.
Hawkins Hill said, amen. But yeah, I think that's a really, well, I think the Bible teaches preparedness from a physical standpoint, but mostly from a spiritual standpoint. We need to be prepared spiritually. You know, we talk a lot about, you know, we all need to be ready to die, but being saved, being a Christian is also the best way to live. When things get bad, to know that we're not alone, that we have a friend that sticks closer than a brother.
That's right.
I mean, I have something I can die with, but I've got something I can live with. So,
Yeah.
yes, I mean, common sense, being prepared spiritually.
Very true. Very true. Couldn't have said that any better.
Let's see. He said that's the short answer.
That's the short answer. Yeah.
Yeah.
And again,
Yeah.
a lot of people like to take a verse here and there and run with it, but if you look at the whole scripture as a whole, you get a much better picture, a much better meaning, a much richer meaning out of it. And yeah, so many people like to just pull one thing out and run with that, but if you combine it with everything that's around it, you know that it means more than what they're trying to say about
Yeah,
it.
that's what Mandy said. You have to take the Bible as a whole, not piecework.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Patty said, consider the ant. Exactly. But I also think, it's also important that we know where everything comes from. We have what we have because the Lord allowed us to have it. He's also given us the ability and the means to get these things. Things aren't just going to show up at your door. You have to work for it. But it's by His grace that we can do that.
One thing that Mike Wilderness Survival missed because he joined us late is I better not drop this. This is heavy. So Tangi has made this for you. So
He can have some if he wants some.
but no, you said it has to sit for 4 weeks.
Has to sit for 4 weeks.
And it's called
Fire cider.
Fire Cider.
It will light
It
you
will
up.
open you up. Which, ironically, I don't know if it's because the weather's changing and it's getting colder, and when the leaves start changing and the grass starts dying, and man, my allergies go over time, and I've actually been sneezing a lot today. I told Tangi, I said, I almost think I'm coming down with a cold, but I hope not.
Well, I hope not either, especially since we can't use this for 4 more weeks. But I
Well,
also,
if we do, I'll dip into it early.
I did something too, something else.
He said he'll try it.
Yeah, you will, and we're gonna get it on film too.
Homegrown wife says that stuff is awesome.
So I also
I'll stick with kombucha. Noah's
today
Ark.
ordered stuff
You ordered?
to make elderberry syrup.
Oh, winning.
Well, it is getting close. I mean,
I
it's cold
love
and
that
flu.
stuff.
It is cold and flu season. Like if we're not already in it, we're getting close to it.
Yeah.
And
Besides that other flu that we've supposedly had all year.
and what has gotten me into this is not just the cold and flu season, but also his dad has been sick for 3 weeks.
Yeah.
And I even asked him, and they've changed his medicine like 4 times. And I'm like, have they not tested him? So he called him.
Yeah.
He put him on speakerphone. He goes, Dad, have they tested you for COVID? He goes, oh yeah, they did about 4 weeks ago. And then he went on and started talking about other stuff. And then he goes, Dad, was it negative? He goes, yeah.
Yeah.
And then they said they wanted to test again, but I said no.
I said, nope, I'm not having to stick that. That hurt.
Yeah, he
Stuck
goes,
it all the way up my nose.
yeah. But it sounds like he's getting better.
Yeah,
but he's kept it for a long time. But a lot of it is because even though he's 80 years old, he will not sit still for nothing.
No.
So he has not taken his medicine like he should, I'm sure.
He works every day.
He works every day before the sun comes up, and he doesn't usually get home until after the sun goes down. Yeah. And so he's just not slowing down enough to rest, let his body heal before he goes out again.
I think if we have this fire cider, elderberry syrup, and Scotch eggs.
Oh my
if
goodness.
you missed us 2 weeks ago, go back to that video.
That ain't got nothing to
If
do
we've
with
got
nothing.
those 3 items,
No.
I will not get sick any
my
this
gosh,
winter.
I might by smelling you.
It would be amazing, and I won't have to worry about vampires or anything else.
I thought you were gonna say from all the healthy food that we have in the house.
Well, yeah, elderberries, fire cider.
Scotch eggs ain't got nothing to do with that.
Well, that's the comfort food
That's
part
a
of
high
it.
protein.
That is the balance.
Oh, mercy.
It's all about balance, Karate Kid.
Okay. All right.
Oh, me.
Let's see. Linda says we've all had allergies here in Georgia. Ugh.
Yeah, and they're
allergies
bad.
are awful.
Well, yes, same here. We've had them bad here too.
Eat raw garlic cloves every night. Yeah,
Yes,
somebody
garlic.
mentioned
We've got the garlic too.
we do, and somebody had mentioned
Did you put some in that?
off grid. Yeah.
Okay.
There's actually 2 heads of garlic in there.
Yes. This is going.
There's 2 heads of
Awesome.
garlic. Just in case y'all wondering how I make this. Okay. So basically,
You show it to me, yeah.
I watched a ton of videos and I read
Why do you keep it covered?
several because light is not good.
Oh. Okay.
Anyway,
cover
so I watched lots of videos and read several blogs to figure out so basically it's a free for all. You just put a lot of healthy stuff in there. Like there's really doesn't seem like there's any rhyme or reason to it. So I've got a whole yellow onion.
it. Oh, excuse me.
I've got 4 jalapenos. I've got 4 sprigs of rosemary, several sprigs of thyme, a whole lemon that I've sliced up and I washed too because you put it peeling and all. I've got maybe a tablespoon of peppercorns,
Whoa.
2 heads of garlic. You know, you get the cloves and you take the paper off and you put it in there. I said jalapenos. I put about a half a tablespoon of ginger powder because I don't have ginger root. I don't have the actual ginger.
You should do a video of Scotch eggs.
I have a video of Scotch eggs.
You need to do another one. You need to update one.
Um,
that way I get Scotch
I
eggs.
also put lemon balm in here because one of the videos I watched was Stacy from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy, and she was like, "Oh, I need to get some lemon balm and put in mine." I was like, "Ooh, I have that." So everything that is in here, I grew, except
That's
for
good.
the onions, and of course the apple cider, and the ginger and the peppercorns, and the lemon.
That's gonna be so good.
But everything else in there came from the garden. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I just hope it's not terribly nasty. But I
Well,
have some raw
yeah, this
honey
is-
that's going to go into it after we strain it.
And this is your first time making it.
It
so, I mean, even if it doesn't taste great, it's got to do what it's meant to do.
Noah's Ark, it is spicy. And most recipes also call for horseradish, but I didn't have any.
Woo.
But that's why it's called fire cider. Yes, the apple cider vinegar, you use the raw, unfiltered with the mother, like Bragg's. And then you fill it up till everything is covered. In fact, you want it like a couple of inches over the chunky parts.
You know why Mike has not been commenting on our previous week's videos?
Why is that?
Because he just now got his high-speed internet at his
Oh,
house.
yeah,
And
that's
now
true.
he can watch a live stream like this. So,
Are you
yeah.
saying time, question mark, how long does it sit? Or are you saying time because we're 7 minutes over?
We are over?
We are
And
over.
I'm sorry, because the moderators, they probably got other things they'd rather be doing too.
Yeah, but if you are asking about the time, this sits for at least 4
Yeah,
weeks.
we're over.
At least 4 weeks. And if you don't have a plastic lid, you want to put parchment paper between your lid and your vinegar so it doesn't rust the lid. But you shake this once every day. Every day. You shake it, I guess, to get the oils going or whatever. And you want to keep it out of direct sunlight. Some things that I read said keep it in a cool spot. Other places said keep it in a warm spot. But one thing that everybody agrees is keep it out of direct sunlight, which is why I have a towel over it. So anyway, but yeah, I've been meaning to do this for years.
Yeah.
And this year I finally
She
remembered
meant how
to do
long
it.
does it sit? Yeah.
Oh, how long it sits. Okay,
So
yeah.
we're
4 weeks.
4 weeks.
Then you strain it, and then you add honey, and the honey is to taste. There's really no set amount. They recommend starting with like a quarter of a cup.
So you strain it so you don't eat the chunks of
Right. You
garlic
don't.
and jalapenos, because I think that would even be more beneficial for you.
Well, you could actually. I saw
a
where I kind
Oh, you
of sucked
need-
some spit.
you need
Anyway,
some of that.
no. So the Land actually has a video where they took the chunks and then they dehydrated it and ground it up and made it into a seasoning to put on the
Wow.
food.
Wow.
So that's an option.
Yeah.
But anyway, but you strain it like through a cheesecloth and you kind of squeeze the juice out, get as much of it out as you
Yeah.
can. And then they recommend putting it in a flip top bottle like what we have that we normally put our kombucha in. But before you do that, you stir in the honey, like I said, to taste, and then you can either keep it on the counter and it'll keep for several months, or you can keep it in the refrigerator and it'll keep even longer.
Okay.
So,
Sounds awesome.
Yeah, and you can look. I mean, there's like a bajillion different recipes on Pinterest. You can make it all different kinds of ways. The way that Stacy from Off Grid with Doug and Stacy made it, she did all flowers, edible flowers,
Huh.
and like nasturtiums with the leaves and zinnias and all kinds of stuff.
And
Marigolds.
And that made it hot and spicy?
Yeah, well, nasturtiums are very peppery. In fact, I tried to eat one because I knew it was edible. I tried to eat one this summer and I was like, it tastes like horseradish. And even though I like horseradish, I don't like horseradish straight. It was a lot. It was very, but anyway.
Well, let's wrap it up because I know we've gone late and I don't want to weary people because they're so diligent about watching us.
Yeah. Well, what I was going to say about looking it up, the blogs that have posts will also tell you like what a dose is. Like you wouldn't give as much to a child as you would an adult. Like for a kid, you want to give them like a teaspoon. You can also dilute it in water. And for adults, like you can take it by the tablespoon.
Half a cup.
No.
If it's got
Weirdo.
honey in it. All right.
Okay.
Guys, thank y'all so much for chatting with us and entertaining us.
And all the fantastic ideas.
Yes, all the great comments and ideas.
Yes. So our next video, I guess, will be our day in the life today,
Which we did today.
which was we started from. Well, I think I turned the camera on at about 6.
I'm not much of a
something.
vlogger, and I didn't do much, but I did a little bit. So, yeah, we'll have a day in the life of us.
Yep. So that should be the next video that we have coming
Yeah.
on. But anyway, we appreciate y'all.
Yeah, don't forget, if you haven't subscribed to us, please do. We always appreciate that.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all.
We're almost at 40,000.
Yes, and I've been trying to think of what we should give away when we get to 40. It needs to be something nice.
We need to do something.
We need to
Do something for our
nice.
peeps. Yeah, they've been so diligent every week.
Awesome. Just awesome, awesome. Thank you, Cliff.
And when we do hit it, we should do it on a live.
No
Because
trolls, right?
when we do it on a live, it's got most of our core people that really connect with us.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, speaking of giveaways, I know I'm rabbit trailing again. If you haven't seen Off Grid with Doug and Stacy's announcement on what they're giving away, then you need to head on over there and make sure you're subscribed if you're
Yes.
not already.
It's huge. It's big. It's huge.
It's huge. It is really, really big. But their goal is to
gonna be
reach
great.
1 million subs before the end of the year. So I'm sure they can do it. I'm sure they'll do it.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right.
Not today.
Sign us off, sweetie.
All right. So until next time, remember,